guys, how you doing? Chad again. I want to do a quick follow-up video about the Milwaukee bandsaw and this swag table that I picked up a few months ago. And some of the pros and cons, things that I've learned about. And I guess this kind of goes to the knife makers out there, guys that might want to get into knife making, or just even if it's a hobby and you want something that you can use to cut your steel and you're kind of watching the budget and stuff. So one of the first things I wanted to touch out is going back again of why I picked out a bandsaw, portable bandsaw versus a freestanding one. One of the issues was paramount was space. Some of them get pretty big. My knife mentor had one, and it was, you know, you're looking about 4 foot long, about 16, 18 inches wide, and when it stood upwards, it was probably 4.5 feet tall, 5 feet tall. And one of the things is with his, he had a jet, he had a little table on it that we would be able to take the steel and we could cut through that. But you had to sit on the actual mechanics and everything of the saw. It didn't have a seat. Those saws are meant to put stock material in and let the weight of the bandsaw rest on the steel. And as the band went, it cuts through it. And when it cuts through completely, it flips a little switch and it shuts itself off. Then you have your freestanding ones that are metal and wood bandsaws. But basically the freestanding ones like the Jet, they can run anywhere to be $500–600. And you can get a Harbor Freight and some cheaper end ones, maybe Grizzly and stuff, for around $300–350. Then you got your freestanding ones. The freestanding ones, when I was looking, they were well into $1,000, if not more. So the cost and the size, huge factors in my eyes. I've got a small shop, and I've got woodworking and knife making here, so the space was paramount. That and the fact that my kids come down here too and do stuff with me, so there's 3 of us kind of moving around and doing things. It was a little bit more conducive to try to get something small, like a portable bandsaw. Now the reason why I went with the Milwaukee is, granted I have heard some nice things about something like Harbor Freights and some off-brand ones, but I was really kind of on the fence about getting something like that and kind of putting it through its paces and probably burn it out. Some fellas say they have it and they love them to pieces, and I'm very happy for them. My luck though is I'd buy something that was $150 or $100 and I'd burn it out in 6 months or so. I'd be kicking myself in the butt, because the reviews were, you can buy them, they're inexpensive, but if you need any service work, you might as well just throw it away and buy another one. So as my knife mentor would say, buy ones, cry ones. So I went with Milwaukee. There was really no difference going Milwaukee or DeWalt, so by no means am I vouching for Milwaukee. I bought this myself, as well as the swag table and the blades and everything else. But I went with Milwaukee just for, you know, the size, the amperage and stuff, and I was just comfortable doing that. So with that being said, swag table. Now when I bought this, I had seen this on a YouTube video. I thought it was really neat how it was built, so I ordered it. When I decided I was going to do this, I was going to do this table. I got the table, was not unhappy with the table on the unboxing, and I am still not unhappy with it all. I think it's a great table. I am not going to put it anywhere near through the abuse and the rigors that this table could take. I know that for a fact. I also recently had, well not recently, but when I got the table saw, or I got the saw and I set it all up, I was running into blade issues. And I originally got this saw, I bought some blades in a pack that I showed in my first video. I bought with the saw. They're just Milwaukee brand blades, and they're made in the US. Doesn't say who makes them, they're just labeled by Milwaukee. I burnt through those blades instantly. I think I have 1 out of the 3 left. The blades didn't hold up well. I went to a local place over here and does like tool and die and stuff. Bought some blades from them. Thought, hey, this ought to work. I went through that. I bought 2 blades, burnt through 1 instantly. And one of the 2 things I realized is, right off the bat, is I was having a hard time finding blades for this. So I started doing some research, and I wasn't very successful. So I contacted Swag Off-Road. They steered me to a company over in Bellevue, Washington, I believe is where they're at. And it's called LA Cutting Products. And I just know they're in Bellingham, Washington. I have the paperwork here. They're in Bellingham, Washington. And I forgot the young guy's name, but it's a family-owned business, and he was really helpful on the phone. Now, they have a website, and they do sell stuff on eBay, But I got to talking to him, and that's when I realized I don't think it was a mistake. I just think it was probably, it's one of those things where you get into a pickle where because you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. He advised me that there is a limited selection of blades made in the 44 and 7/8, and they have all the blades that you can get for this saw. And when I started describing to him the metals I wanted to cut, you know, D2, 154 cm, those are very hard metals, not heat treated. I'm just talking in stock form prior to making, when you're going to go do stock removal and grind them down. And he steered me on to a blade in particular, and I got him right here. And he says, don't go with anybody else other than Lennox. Lennox is the company to go to. Now, they're familiar with me because I had my bandsaw, and I have some Lennox bandsaws, as well as my hacksaw. I buy Lennox blades there too. So he says, this is the brand to go. The teeth, everything, this was the way to rock and roll. So I went ahead and did that. There's really not a whole lot to say. They're a 10 to 14 TPI, I believe, is what I got. And 44 and 7/8. But it was important to mention that run this on its slowest speed. Now this, I opted to get the one with the high and low. Its lowest speed's like 330 RPMs. Highest is like 350 or 380. But run it at its slowest speed. Now some bandsaws, portable bandsaws, don't have minimum adjustable speeds. They have one speed and that's it. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. If you're going to get into this, or if you're looking at a saw to cut some really hard metal, rather than 01 and 1095, 1085, or just your basic mild steels from your hardware stores, you might want to think twice about the bandsaw and the blades. If you can afford a bigger one and you're not doing knives, maybe you go with a big one for stock, you know, for other stuff. If you're doing knives, this might still be an option, but you're not going to save any money. This setup costs the same as like a Grizzly or something, freestanding freestanding bandsaw. Not really sure how I would have been able to hold the material to cut it, but what that would have gave me is a larger variety of blades for that saw, because those saws are 104 inches or 126 inches and so on. Being a 44 and 7/8 and a portable bandsaw, you're limited to a certain size. Other bandsaws as well have a depth. Means the width of this blade from the serrations to the back of it. They have depths. I'm limited to this where I can only run one depth basically. The bigger ones, when you start getting into them, your freestanding bandsaws and your four-legged kind of bandsaws, you'll see, those have so many varieties of bands that you could probably get a better blade that lasts longer to cut D2. And I'm saying that with confidence because my knife mentor has that jet, that freestanding jet, and we were cutting D2 and 154 cm on that. And I blew the blade on it once by pressing. It was an older blade, but afterwards we could just keep burning. You just hog right into that and it would just cut away the material and keep going. But again, those were more to the $500 range versus getting this. So I wanted to put that information out for everybody as kind of as a follow-up, a part 2 to my review on this. Would I buy one of these again and buy this again? Probably not if it was only for knives. If I was you watching a video and somebody's watching this, I'm going to tell you, these things are awesome. This table is bulletproof. Swag Offroad is a great company down in Oregon. They make these in-house. It's a small company. I like supporting them. Milwaukee, you can't go wrong. It's a good brand name saw. No issue there. LA cutting products, I mean, you can't go wrong with small businesses like that. So if you guys are looking for saw blades and you need some place to go, check out lacuttingproducts.com. They don't know I'm doing this video, so it's going to be out by the time they probably find out. So I'm not getting anything from them either. I bought these blades. I'm just giving you good people, good information. But if you want to get into high production of knives and you're going to use the higher end metals like I'm using, you might want to look at a bigger bandsaw so you have a more variety of blades. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a sad Sally here or anything like that, but I definitely am very appreciative to this and what I have. and I feel blessed to be able to even do these kind of things, let alone have nice equipment like this. It's just I wanted to share with you guys kind of the pros and cons to stuff. And if you were thinking about getting into it as a young knife maker or even as somebody as a hobbyist, this might not be something that is going to be maybe the right thing for you. So do your due diligence, do your homework. YouTube's a phenomenal place for educating yourself on many different items and tools and equipment. Use it to its most infinite possibilities. And again, if you guys got any questions, if I can help you, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them if I can. Otherwise, jump over to the other video, check out the unboxing and the initial review on this. And like always, like, share, subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Thank you to all those subscribers out there that have been following me. And until the next video, we'll catch you then.